much of it shouldn't we do? And will we regret when we reach our deathbed? And suppose we don't believe in God. Suppose we think there is no afterlife, we had a great life, we are good mafia leaders and collecting money and so on, or think of that. I mean, maybe this is a good point to break and then see what philosophers have said. You tell me, when we begin again, I will propose one question. What you would say, why you wouldn't do it, if you wouldn't do it. Or you may say, why would it? And then I will tell you what philosophers have said, and maybe what philosophers have said, you will find out, you'll be surprised to find out that what you will say is not going to be so very different from what some great philosophers have said.
So we shall make a break, but I wonder, shall we look at the last part of the movie that we have?
Okay, but I think the last part, I would like to save it for the end, because one thing, look, let me add one more point to what you have said, because to your answers to what the movie is about. You said some things which are very close to what I also think is the problem of the movie. But there is something more. And this something more, hello, you came at a critical point where we're going to decide whether we'll be mafia leaders or not. So, and whether you will lead an immoral group. If we find out that there's no point in being moral, we may decide to start some kind of scheme.
So we have two questions when we leave for lunch.
Yes. Yes. So one of the things is why, if we are not punished, if we are not caught, because we are invisible, okay, shouldn't we act immorally? Why, if we are not punished or caught, shouldn't we act immorally as we please, as we like, to satisfy our desires?
Or shouldn't we act immorally?
Immorally. Why shouldn't we act?
Nej, det är två ämnen, innan, moral, innan.
Thank you.
Immorally, and you said shouldn't, you shouldn't we, put the we, shouldn't we act or to remove.
As we like to satisfy.
As we like to satisfy our desires. And then the second question, let me elaborate before you write the second question. I was going to say that for me, the deeper issue in this movie is, can life be meaningful? Can life be meaningful if we are people? Can life be happy and meaningful? Can life be happy and meaningful? If we don't respect morality at all. Okay, so these are very related. I mean, they're very closely related questions. But and that's why I told Boo that the last scene that I want to see talks about what gives our lives meaning, okay, and how treating other people morally and in a good way may make our life meaningful. Okay, that's the last scene that I want us to look at, where the philosopher speaks. There's a philosopher who unfortunately commits suicide, and before committing suicide he says these very moving things. I like that last scene where the guy speaks, and it's very pessimistic if you think of
we
this
take
guy.
that later.
Yeah.
We had to eat to be able to understand what
Food for the body, so food for the mind too, okay? Whereas the primum vivere is the Latin.
But did you bring the coffee and tea?
Yeah, this.
Oh, yeah. We have 20 minutes break then?
What about the second question?
The
That
second,
is,
Oh,
can life be happy and meaningful
Oh.
if we don't respect morality also?
that really, at all.
At all, yeah,
It's not at all.
absolutely.
And others.
Thank you.
So you can have some caviar and champagne.
Now we go down.
yes. How's it with the book? How is it with your book?
Yes, good. We made a plan. It's,
You do it together with
first
other
June.
persons?
What?
Do you it together with other persons?
yeah, well, I got most of it, and then the other persons, they write one chapter each.
What is the topic?
It's about oral competences.
Oral competences. Okay.
So we use philosophy in that. So it's hard work, but we have to work this week and next week, and then it's,
Finish.
yeah, then it's production.
Okay. And this is your first book?
No, no, no.
You write